Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's morning musings is empowered healing. I'm doing a series of daily morning musings, and I'm using posts from my blog, Adventures in Density and Effort, as inspiration. Now, I wrote these a while ago, and the world has completely changed since then. So if I see anything that needs updating, I will just give you the most recent information. And at the end, I will summarize the topic based on what's going on in the world today. Also, I have some special offers, so stay tuned to the very end to see what they are. Empowered healing. I'm going to talk about a certain essence quality that some souls are born with. It's their natural tendency that will color all that they do. I have different ways of describing what that soul essence is, and I've talked about this in previous videos. There's a soul essence that is a pioneer, they're an adventurer, they go out and blaze a trail. But the one I'm talking about today is the settler or the stabilizer, the person who creates the towns and the banks and the schools in the places that have been discovered. They're the stabilizers, and they're the ones that bring that new energy into form. And they also are innate healers. They're the ones that like to create a safe place. They're going through an enormous transformation at this time. And you might be one of these settlers, stabilizers, healers, and not acknowledge that it is your essence quality. If you are naturally empathic, naturally tuned into other people's feelings, and have an innate urge to make things better for other people, then you're in the right place. Healers, settlers, stabilizers are naturally sensitive and like to create an atmosphere of serenity around them. Friends like to come to them because they create a safe place for friends to grow and change. Friends like to tell these folks all their problems and always go away feeling 100 times better. But often healers, stabilizers, settlers will come away from these conversations drained and preoccupied with their friends' problems. Now, professionals who have this soul essence quality have gone through training programs that gives them skills for specific kinds of expressions of healing. However, most of these programs are still operating from the last century lower consciousness levels. An old paradigm was that trained healers were an expert in their field, whether it was Western medicine or the alternative, because many alternative healing trainings, in an attempt to be taken seriously, adopted Western medicine patterns of teaching. As an expert, they know what's wrong with the patient and they know how to fix it. This is a very disempowering approach. It leaves people dependent on the professional healer for relief, comfort, and improvement in their health. Even when the professional healer knows better and tries to shift it to new consciousness, old patterns still persist. It's very uncomfortable for the ego not to be the expert, to step back and allow something that they're not in control of for a greater transformation to occur. And also stop there because I've shifted totally into talking about healers and people are trained as healers, but this does apply to your soul essence expression in other areas. You could be a teacher with this soul essence and want to create a safe place for your students. And there are still some old paradigm trainings and beliefs in there that you are the expert, which doesn't allow for your students to have critical thinking or have new ways of doing things or to respond to them in their different learning styles. Those old patterns still exist even when you have the most well-meaning intention to be different. As consciousness, we've shifted to a greater level of embodiment, which brings a greater level of awareness and ability to inwardly transform. The truth is, we are all experts in our own lives and health. If we have a problem, we innately have a solution. We may need assistance in healing and transformation. It's really kind of hard to perform your own dental exam, for instance, but we're not helpless victims of fate needing rescuing. The new paradigm of healing is empowering. It acknowledges you as whole and capable and gives you ways to heal yourself. Instead of making you come back for repeated appointments because you need a professional to continue to fix the problem, you're given suggestions to continue healing in your own life. You're led in this journey. I don't think this quite works if you're a teacher because you can't say, oh, go home and teach yourself. But there's a way of acknowledging in your students that they are consciousness beyond their physical years. And in that consciousness, they have a connection to the collective consciousness that gives them insight and awarenesses and new ideas. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir. I think a lot of teachers innately know this already. back to the blog. Natural healers, settlers, stabilizers who aren't professionals but spend every waking minute taking care of others are being called to a different way of being as well. Instead of looking outward to the neglect of their own well-being, they're having to focus inward. Often circumstances are arising to force them to change their focus, often through their own illness. And I do think that whenever we get sick, it is a higher creation for us to look at and take care of ourselves. Although in some instances, it's also to allow ourselves to be taken care of. And I think life in general nowadays is so highly stressful that self-care is a really important priority. And for a lot of us, especially settlers, healers, and stabilizers, self-care is not our highest priority, and it should be. In focusing inward, you're still contributing to the healing of the world. By centering within and creating internal well-being, you are radiating that energy to others. You are contributing to the collective consciousness. When you heal yourself, you contribute that increased possibility to everyone else. In letting go of making things better or fixing others' problems, you are empowering them to come up with their own solutions. Sometimes the greatest healing is stepping back and letting that person have the consequences of their own actions. Many people don't learn unless they have to do it for themselves. When you focus on your own well-being, you're more able to help others when they actually need it. This week, notice any knee-jerk tendencies to change, fix, or improve outside yourself and in other people's lives. Give yourself a break and step back from the situation. Take some time to turn within and reflect on your own life. What would feel good to you in the present moment? Respond to your own needs for a change. Try this for 7 days and see what happens. Well, this does still apply. It probably applies 100 times more now than it did when I originally wrote this. We've all gone through this amazing upgrade, this huge consciousness shift. It's requiring us to express our soul essences in a more expanded way or in a different way than would have traditionally, or the way we might have habitually expressed it. And I'll also say that I don't really have all the answers here because I'm taking care of a lot of people right now. I'm care managing 3 or 4 family members, and so it's challenging for me to include myself on that list. However, I wouldn't be able to be as efficient as I am being or be as mindful as I'm being in taking care of these 4 very different individuals with 4 very different needs if I wasn't coming from my own highest awareness, utilizing all my years of experience and using my highest intuition to navigate these situations. Because it's really about, we're 2 or 3 of them, it's a partnership. It should be a partnership with the 4th one. I think it's more habitual patterns with the 4th one. However, there's an evolution happening with each one of them. The storyline is evolving so that people are really going to have to step in and take care of themselves. So take a look at your own life. Notice whether you resonate with this being a natural healer. You might not. You might be what I would describe as a light bringer. Those are the pioneers. Those are the adventurers. They're the ones that are bringing in the brand new information and blazing the trails, going boldly where man has never gone before. And they cannot understand why somebody would want to stand still and stabilize. But it's a partnership because the pioneers, the light bringers, the adventurers, they're the ones bringing the new information into form. And healers, settlers, stabilizers are the ones bringing the information and grounding it into the new reality. So the main thing to let the folks who are healers, stabilizers, and settlers is that they can powerfully create a safe place by standing still and resonating their own presence. So there's a new way of creating change in the world, and that's one of them. And your presence is a tremendous healing and stabilizing for everyone in your life. So if you resonate with this, or if you have any questions or ideas to add, please leave a comment below. I love to read your comments. If you like these videos, please share them with your family and friends and on your social media. And please like and subscribe, and that way you're telling the algorithm to share this far and wide and get it out to someone who really needs to see this information. And if you want a free sample of one of my consciousness techniques, click on the link below to the skybox technique. It'll give you an expanded viewpoint of your life and everything that's going on from the perspective of consciousness. And if you want some manifestation techniques, Manifesting Money and Miracles is my self-study program that gives you tools and techniques and frequencies to completely transform your life. And if you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. There you can learn about my personal sessions programs where I take a look at you as consciousness and what you're creating in your life today. And then I can answer any questions that you might have, whether it's about your job, your finances, your relationships, what's coming up in your future. And I can talk to your loved ones who have passed as well. And it's all recorded just for you. And if you want to learn how to do this for yourself, that is navigate your life as consciousness with my consciousness techniques. Manifesting Money and Miracles is a great preparation for my coaching program where I work with you one-on-one and give you specifically chosen consciousness techniques so that you can transform your life. So go to my website, joan-newcomb.com, and I'll see you tomorrow in another Morning Musings.